breaking news. Police now say they have someone in custody in a deadly New York City stabbing caught on camera. 18-year-old Ryan Dowling is being considered a person of interest in the case. The victim, Ryan Carson, was stabbed to death in front of his girlfriend in what appears to be a random attack. Trevor Alt joins me now with more on this. Trevor, what more do we know about this person of interest and how police found him?
Yeah, Diane, so you mentioned this is 18-year-old Brian Dowling, and it appears he was caught on video perpetrating this murder. At least that's what authorities tell us. And just today, he was taken into custody there in Brooklyn. It's believed he hasn't yet been charged, but we're anticipating those will come shortly. And it's likely that's going to come with a murder charge. That's the video there where you saw that confrontation between him and 32-year-old Ryan Carson. Appears to have been a random attack. What we've learned about 18-year-old Brian Dowling is that there appears to have been a summons from last year for disorderly conduct, and that just a couple months ago, after Dowling was in an argument with his girlfriend at her apartment, he was breaking things, and it actually led to his aunt calling 911 and describing him as emotionally disturbed. There's a lot of thoughts that maybe there's a mental health aspect to it, but certainly it is a brutal murder that happened with this man stabbed to death in front of his own girlfriend.
It was. What more do we know about the victim here?
So this is 32-year-old Ryan Carson. He's a really well-known activist there in Brooklyn. He fought to prevent overdose deaths. He worked on making public transit more accessible for people. This is a person who was really well-liked and really well-known by his friends and family as someone who was trying to make his community much better there in Brooklyn and beyond it. We saw many videos of him advocating for people, of speaking with poetry and spoken word, and really known by everyone that we've spoken to as a person who was trying to help people. It's possible that's even what was happening on this very early Monday morning when he was stabbed to death.
Now, you went there to the scene, to the community, talked to people in that area. How are they reacting to this?
Yeah, so there's basically two different levels to this, Diane. This is Brooklyn is a big place. This is a neighborhood called Bed-Stuy. The first level, of course, is that a bunch of people knew Ryan Carson, and they're devastated, as you can understand, that he was brutally stabbed to death on video, a video that's now been seen all over the world. People are devastated. The second level is, given the nature of Ryan Carson's work, the fact that he was an activist that was known as being pretty progressive, there are circles on the far right online that are essentially celebrating his murder as a way of kind of a comeuppance for the policies that he was backing, which is, as you might imagine, making it even more difficult for his friends and family, or basically the politicalization of his own death. So basically what you have, the people in Bed-Stuy, they're devastated that the murder happened, but they are also very protective of their own neighborhood, because this video is being used to try to make an example that where they live is dangerous, or that it is overrun with crime, or that there's murderers simply roaming the street. What we've seen, evidence-wise, is that this appears to have been a random attack, possibly perpetrated by someone who was mentally ill. That's something that authorities are going to have to answer in the coming days, as now we have the suspect finally in custody.
Based on comments on social media, it also seems like the random part is really sticking with people. The fact that this seemed completely unprovoked, there was no argument between the two of them or anything like that. What are you watching for as we learn more about this case?
Well, first, we're going to have to see what the charges are. I think it's fairly likely that this is going to be a murder charge. What was also an interesting wrinkle to this, Diane, is that you saw on the video, actually, after the stabbing happened, a woman comes up, and police sources tell us that they believe that's the suspect's girlfriend. She comes up and immediately apologizes and then starts yelling, "Brian." Of course, now we know Brian Dowling is the suspect here. She was kind of shouting for him afterwards. It's possible she might face charges, too. I know that authorities were trying to speak with her as well. But this is something that I think, depending on your view of society itself, you could view this in a lot of different angles, but regardless, this is simply a tragedy for Ryan Carson and everyone who knows him.
It sure is. Trevor Alt, thanks for staying on top of it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.